going to start seated today. So just finding a comfortable seat, just maybe grounding through the sit bones, and take a couple of rolls of those shoulders. So just taking a few little rolls, circling up, back and down. And then maybe take a big inhale, squeeze the shoulders, squeeze the face, and exhale, let everything go. And just settling into those sit bones, just grounding down, pressing into the floor, but lifting tall through the crown of the head. The eyes might be closed already. And just simply noticing for the first few moments your body as it is seated on your mat. Just notice any areas of tension or anything that needs adjusting to become more comfortable, and just notice where your hands have naturally rested, whether they've been placed downwards on the knees or maybe they're facing upwards. We might even think about finding that mudra, that gesture with our hands where we bring our first finger and thumb together, and we can have the hands up if we want to receive, and we're open to that today. Or if we need grounding down, we might just turn the palms facing down. I'm just taking a moment to settle in, popping. And just noticing your breath, just noticing where it's travelling naturally. And just guiding that breath deeper into the belly if it's not already there. So taking a big deep inhale, filling up the belly. And as you exhale, let go, release the breath. Inhaling, filling up, drawing in anything we need to draw into ourselves, healing, light, energy. And as you exhale, release and let go of anything you need to leave behind today. That full moon energy, a time for releasing, letting go, forgiveness. So you might want to set an intention for your practice today of something you're going to leave behind at the end of practice. Something you no longer wish to carry forwards, carry with you. Glad Poppy's chosen this time to walk around and lick everything. Hopefully you can't hear her. And then with those exhales, just rounding through the mouth a little bit so we can extend the exhale. You might take an inhale, filling up in a bit of a swooshing sound through, gently pursed lips on the exhale so that we can really release the breath, let it go. Like blowing through a straw perhaps, trying to make some bubbles. And then just let the breath come back to any breath, any rhythm, no forcing of any exhale or inhale. And take a little bit of humming bee to really drop into our nervous system, really find that nice peace and calm. So taking the fingers and spreading the hands nice, or fingers nice and wide, we can place one finger above the eyebrow, one below, one above the lip. What are you licking? Everything. One below the lip. And so our fingers are really nicely spread across the face. So if it feels nice to be here or you're okay to be here, keep those elbows lifted nice and high and just use the thumbs to plug the ears. So before you plug the ears, obviously, we'll take some deep breaths. So we're going to inhale filling up, and as we exhale, it will be a long hum, and that could go on and on and on. So finding maybe 5 rounds in your own time with your own pitch and volume of humming bee. And you might take a round or two to find what feels good for you today. So inhaling to prepare, exhaling with the hum. When you finished your final round, just allow your hands to rest. Just taking a few moments to feel what that's left within the body, how that makes you feel. I love a bit of humming bee, it's very calming. It's actually really good for insomnia as well, so something you can do at night time if you struggle. Calming that vagus nerve, that parasympathetic. So just starting to take your ear to one shoulder. Just taking a little stretch over. And then roll gently through the centre. Semicircle round to the other side. And just moving between the two in your own time, your own rhythm, allowing you to hold each side, perhaps a little stretch. Allowing the clicks and clunks that may happen in the neck. And then just when it comes to centre your chin, just allow it to be dropped down. And then we'll round through the whole spine. So we're seated cat-cow, rounding down. And on the inhale, we'll lift and open through the chin and the chest. And as we exhale, we'll round down. So again, with your rhythm of breath. And here we can really practice that sighing exhale. Every time we exhale, it's a chance to let go. Every full moon's a chance to let go. But literally every exhale. And that's, many of those happen every day. Something between 22, 26,000 times a day we breathe. So half of that are exhales. Oh no, maybe that counts an inhale, exhale cycle. I presume that would be one breath. So rounding all the way down. I've never tried to count. Inhale, lift. Last one in each direction. And then just coming up to centre and just slide the ribs across the top of the hips. So just trying to space and gap that little area between the ribs and the hips. Finding some room, maybe pressing away as you slide across. Just getting that nice little wiggle. And then we'll circle the rib cage around the hips, and that might include the head rolling round in the opposite direction. So we get that full figure of 8 happening through the spine, including the neck. And then we'll reverse those figures of 8. If you're not sure, just wriggle in all directions. And then come back to center. So just placing one hand down, maybe the elbow drops, maybe it's just slightly bent. Lift the other arm up and over and find that nice C-shaped curve into the spine. Breathing into that space between the ribs and the hips. And as you inhale, come through center, and as you exhale, windmill down to the other side, bending that bottom elbow, top arm, also bent, relaxed. Breathe into that side body. And as you come back up through center, take a little twist. One hand to the opposite knee, lift through the crown of the head as you turn. And as you come back through center, twisting to the other side, lifting to turn. And gently back through center. And we'll just roll over those knees, coming onto all fours. So the hands are spread onto the mats, the knees are underneath the hips. And we'll just take a few circles, warming up the wrists and the hands. Maybe that includes a little wiggle through the spine. And then coming back to center. So just tucking the toes under, start to lift the hips up and back, and you might keep the knees nice and bent as you press back into a nice bent-legged down dog to begin with. So the head's dropped, the knees are bent, the tummy and the thighs are close together or connected. And just drop that head, let it dangle, press the floor away, spread the shoulder blades so you get that nice long spine. Bent-legged down dog. Sighing exhales. As we exhale, we relax, the body starts to relax, the muscles start to relax. So we use that to help us lengthen anything we need to. And then just start to lengthen the legs one at a time, just bending and straightening one leg then the other. Have a little pedal through those heels, walking the dog. I always remember the first time I heard that, I just thought it was hilarious, but yeah, not so funny anymore, but it's just a nice easy way to remember, walking the dog. Finding that belly breath. And then start to walk the feet to the hands. You can bend the knees or keep them straight as you pedal inwards. Feet hip distance, and then find that fold. So grab opposite elbow. Might take a little swing and a sway there, just letting everything dangle down. Let gravity do all the work of opening that back body. Sighing exhales. Necklace in my mouth. Find those long exhales, letting go. And then you might just drop the arms down. We're going to roll up super slowly. So tuck the tailbone under. Imagine you're restacking the vertebrae one at a time as you roll up. Keep the head, neck and shoulders relaxed. They're the last things to come up, and the head can stay down as long as you need. And then just roll the shoulders open through the chest gently. Beautiful. So coming to the front of the mat if you're not already there. Big toes nice and close or touching. Spread the rest of the toes. A little gap between the heels. And shoulders down and back. Palms facing in for that ashtanga. Tadasana. Samasthiti. Find your breath. Ground into the feet. Chin lifted. Eyes might be closed. Just finding that strength, that grounding through mountain pose. Breathe. Take a big inhale, sweep the arms wide and up, palms touch. Exhale, diving, tipping forwards from your hips into forward fold. Inhale, long, flat back as you lift. Exhale, fold. Walking, stepping. If you're ready to jump, jump and land in chaturanga, or step yourself back to plank, hover down, elbows close, knees can land on the floor if they need. Inhale, peeling your way up. Hips to heels, or press the hips straight up and back to down dog. Awesome. So let that head dangle again. Long. Sighing releases. If you need to still walk the heels, walk through here. Otherwise, find that breath, that fire in the belly, building the warmth. Filling up with the inhale. Let it go with the exhale. One more breath here. Look between the hands, bend the knees, walk, step or jump the feet to the hands, come to that halfway lift, and exhale to fold all the way down. Sweep the arms widen up, palms to touch, and exhale to release. So we'll go again, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, sweep the arms, whoops, take a plant with you. Exhale, diving forwards, tipping from your hips. Inhale, long, flat back. And exhale to fold. So walking, stepping or jumping back, hovering down if you haven't landed in Chaturanga. Baby Cobra, or maybe you're ready for up dog, knees lifted. Press back to down dog or hips to heels first. So again, find the breath here in down dog. Press the hips up and back. Breathe. Building the warmth with the breath. I think I've said before, in ashtanga, typically we don't drink because we don't want to put out that fire in the belly that we're building through the breath in each posture, in each asana. But obviously if you need a drink, feel free. Looking between the hands, bend the knees, walk, step or jump the feet to the hands, come to that halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Sweep the arms widen up, palms touch, and exhale, release. Beautiful. Surya Namaskar B. So sitting into intense or chair pose. See if you can see your toes in front of your knees. Tuck the tailbone under, long through the spine. Maybe lifting arms, breathing. Big inhale, and as you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, long, flat back as you lift, and exhale to fold. So walking, stepping or jumping back again to plank or chaturanga, hover down. Baby Cobra or up dog. Exhale, press back to down dog. So left foot turns 45 degrees, bring the right foot through or round or give it some help to get there, pressing into the feet. And sinking into that right knee, warrior one. So really square off the hips and shoulders to the front edge of your mat. And find that breath. Eye gaze either forwards or up. Sinking into that front knee, breathe. Such a good stretch on my calf, I could stay here all day. One more breath. And then frame that front foot. Step it back, hover down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to press back. So right foot turns 45, left foot comes through, or give it some help to get there. Pressing into those feet, squaring off to the front edge, sinking in. Beautiful. Drop the shoulders down, away from the ears. And if the ribs are flaring forwards, just tuck them gently. One more breath here. And as you exhale, frame that front foot, step it back and hover down. Inhale to lift and exhale to press back. Couple of breaths here just to find your rhythm again. Looking between the hands, bend the knees, walk, step or jump feet in, come to that halfway lift, and exhale, hold. Sit the bottom back, sweep the arms forwards or up, tailbone tucked under, one more breath, and release. So I'm going to do some really quick activations, you've all done it with me before, and then we'll go through that one more time so we can just see any differences. So we're going to get into our under the ribs. So our upside down Y, so just underneath the rib cage, yep, tucking in the fingers under there. Ooh, get a little massage going. You can stay standing, I was just getting in the camera. And then we can go up through the sternum, have a little poke in there, maybe use the knuckles, find the bits that are sore, they need a little bit more tension. Those middle bits, if any sports bras or bras are in the way, just trying to get underneath anything that might be hiding little tender spots. So our upside down Y, and then we're finding our belly button, our hip bone, and we're about halfway in between, probably right along my band of my shorts. I'm going to go underneath that, and we're going to poke in. I'm going to do both together, either side, give them a little massage. Breathe, might feel quite tender and sore. And then we're going to get the base of the skull and just into the back of the head there. So we can use, again, maybe knuckles, just coming on that ridge where all the muscles go into the back of the skull there. Can feel quite yucky. And then we're under the jaw, that lovely, beautiful one. Underneath there, I'm creeping forward so I can have a drink. Just getting all those yucky bits in there. And then take a couple of belly breaths. Big inhale, long exhale. So we'll take Surya Namaskar B again and just see if that's shifted anything in the body. Just doing that zone 1 activation, our hips and our glutes and our diaphragm. So inhale, sitting into intense pose. One more breath here. And as you exhale, fold. Inhale, long, flat back. And exhale to you fold. So walking, stepping, actually feel like jumping now, so that's good. Coming back to Chaturanga. Beautiful. Inhale to lift. Exhale to press back. So left foot turns 45, right foot comes through. Give it some help if you need. Pressing into those feet. Sinking into that right knee. Big breaths here, holding for one more. Inhale, and as we exhale, hands land. Step it back, hover down. Inhaling to lift through the chest, cobra or up dog. Exhale to press back, down dog. Right foot 45, left foot through. Press into those feet. That bit feels really different to me, pressing up and lifting. Find your breath. And as you exhale, fold down, land the hands, hover all the way down. Inhale to lift. Don't know about you guys, but that felt a lot easier. Ooh, some crap on that. So head just dangling in that forward fold. Catch your breath. Slow it back down. One more breath here. Look between the hands, bend the knees, walk, step or jump feet to the hands. Come to that halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Sit the bottom back, sweep the arms either forwards or all the way up. Tuck the tailbone under. Breathe. Stay for one more breath. Yes. And release. Easier? I hope so. Different, maybe? Good. So feet are hip distance apart. Inhale, let's take a little baby back bend. Squeeze the elbows open through the chest. Maybe a little lean backwards as we squeeze the hips, pushing forwards from the glutes. As we exhale, tip from the hips, diving into fold. And we're hooking onto those toes with our peace fingers on the inside, circling, making a little circle with the thumbs and draw the elbows wide. So the chin is being drawn between the shins or towards that area. We'll probably always say where the part of the body should end up, but it doesn't mean we're there. My chin is not between my shins, but you know, it's thinking about it. It's heading towards that.
Maybe just nod the head yes or no, making sure you're not holding that tension there. Find the breath. And then untuck fingers and toes, maybe just lift halfway, come to that flat back, and then we'll place the palms of the hands under the soles of the feet. So making that lovely full circle with the body. And then we can use the big toes to kind of massage into the thumbs. And bend your knees as much as you need to there. And just let the head dangle down. Long exhales, letting go. One more belly breath. Long releases, release the hands, come up halfway. You might walk the hands up the shins, up the thighs to come up through that nice flat back as well. Beautiful. So we're going to take a bit of revolved action today in our triangle pose. So we're going to start facing the front of the mat, right leg stays forward, left foot steps back. And we're in quite a long stance, but then we're going to make sure our hips and shoulders are square to the front edge. Right hand can just rest on the hip, left arm reaches up and forwards. And so we lean forwards, finding that long flat back to begin with, and then we take the hand on the outside of our front leg. And then we're twisting and opening up. So that right hand might track back onto the back. Maybe it reaches up to the top of the sky, ceiling, wherever you are. Opening out so that we're in that full revolved triangle. We're pressing into the feet. Legs are long and strong to keep us stable here, keep our base. We might look down just to keep stability, or we could even look up to that top hand if that feels okay. Breathing. One more breath. Awesome. So we're going to windmill open through the arms, and then we're going to pivot on those feet to turn to the back of the mat. So our left foot becomes our front foot. Our hips and shoulders are square to that now back edge of the mat. Left hand stays on the left hip. Right arm reaches up. Reach forwards. Tip forwards first. And then send that hand on the outside of the left leg. Back of the hand presses against the calf or shin. Left hand might stay on the hip, or it reaches up to twist fully. Breathing. Beautiful. Keep breathing. You've got this. Long, strong legs. And then as we cartwheel open with the arms, we lift through the chest. Pivot back to the front of the mat. Big step in. Samasthiti. So we're going to now take revolved extended side angle. So big, big step back this time. So coming to high lunge. So keep the front, right leg front, back leg, heel is lifted into that nice high lunge. We're staying forwards with the chest. Left arm reaches up again. We reach forwards over that front leg. Make sure the knee and the heel are nicely in line. And then we take the elbow to the outside of that knee. So we can press the hands together in prayer and rotate our heart towards our hands. Press the back leg long, maybe extending those arms. Same position as triangle, or for the full version, the right arm, the right bicep is by the right ear. Breathing wherever we are, making that long extended side angle line. You got this. One more breath. And then gently sweep that right arm back, and we can pivot through, cartwheeling the hands, pivoting the feet. Ooh, slowly so you don't wobble like me. And find that long lunge into that left leg. So right arm reaches up. As we lean forwards, the elbow comes to the outside of the left knee, hands in prayer, twisting the heart towards the hands, back leg long and strong. And again, we might open the arms, we can keep the hands in prayer. We might bring that left arm up and over. So really thinking about breathing into any part of the body that feels challenged here, or stretched, or working hard. One more breath. Awesome. So windmill that left arm back first. Pivot on the feet as we spin back to the front of the mat. Big step in. Release. Awesome. So we're going to step nice and wide along the mat and turn. The feet are at least pointing forward, or ideally toes slightly in, heels slightly out. Take a big inhale, roll the shoulders back, and as you exhale, tip from the hips, folding forwards. Hands can land on the mats. If you need a block, pillow, or anything underneath the hands, feel free. Otherwise, those thumbs are close or touching. We're drawing the elbows towards one another, trying to draw that head in between the hands. So we're really squeezing the elbows together, really active upper back, drawing that head down. Finding the breath. Long sigh and releases with the exhale. The head and the neck are relaxed. The upper back might be active, being drawn down. The hips are lifting and we're taking weight into the fronts of the feet as well as the heels. Breathing. Wide angle forward fold. One more breath here. And then just pressing into the hands, come up halfway. This time as we come back down, we're going to take the outsides of the shins. So we might just slide the hands down towards the shins or the ankles, and we're still folding down, drawing that head between the hands, or we can hook onto our big toes with our peace fingers and use that little hook, elbows to draw wide and that head to draw in the center. If you've got your fingers underneath your big toes, it does hurt your hands slightly. Your fingers are getting a bit crushed by your big toes. Breathing. Long sighing releases, letting go of any tension. One more breath here. Untuck those fingers and toes. Just press up gently to that halfway lift. Hands on the hips and then coming up through that nice flat back. Bend the knees if you need to, and then just start to heel toe the feet in. And let them release, give them a little shake out. Beautiful. So we're going to find a little bit of balance. So we'll find our standing half lotus first. Option, if that's not for you today, you could take tree here, here, or above the knee if that feels better. Otherwise we're coming into standing half lotus. So the right knee is the first lifting leg. So we're going to squeeze that left hip nice and tall, lifting through the crown of the head, drawing the right knee to the chest. So we just prepare the leg with a few movements. We bring the heel back, trying to keep it in line. Come into that kind of thigh stretch. You might just stay at any point of the preparation, enjoy a stretch and a balance, or take that knee wide, keep going, lift the heel away, and then tuck the heel into the hip crease. And then we keep hold with the left hand, keeping hold of the toes. The right arm reaches round, it might just reach the elbow, the forearm, it might even grab those toes if you're there for the bind. I'm not, so I'm going to use that elbow to kind of, elbow forearm to start to draw down towards that. If you do have hold with your right hand, you would let go with your left hand and fold forwards, but I'm not quite there yet. She says, yeah, been the same for years, but sometimes some of these things we get better at, others there may be a limit, and that is okay. One more breath here. So we're going to carefully release that right arm, release the leg, give the ankle a little circle, knee might need a little rub, shake out, and just circle the standing ankle and toes, release that leg. So spread the toes of that right foot, long, lift up, almost lift away from that hip so we get long, we're not just sinking into it, we're lifting long through that right side of the body. Left knee lifts, and remember we can just take tree pose here, maybe this is enough. Maybe we take the foot back and enjoy that quad stretch and stay here balanced. As we come back up, we're preparing now the hip, and we draw that knee wide, foot wide, and then we bring the heel to the hip crease. Keep hold with the right hand, left arm reaches round and down towards the other hand, foot, or just the elbow crease or the forearm or wherever it can reach. Keep lifting tall, breathing. Fix your eye gaze, your drishti, somewhere that's not moving. Probably not on the screens. I know it's tempting to just watch, but try and fix that eye gaze somewhere else. Point of focus. awareness and attention. And gently release the back arm, release that front leg, give the ankle circle, knee a little gentle release, shake it out. Standing leg might need a little circle. Good, and let it all go. Beautiful. So we'll come to standing hand to foot pose. So keeping hold again, long through that right leg, squeezing in. Sorry, we're going to lift the right leg, so long through the left leg. So start to draw the right knee up. So again, you might just stay here and balance. And if you need a wall, you can always just balance against the wall for extra stability or hold something nearby. We can straighten the leg and hold underneath, or we're using those peace fingers again to hook round the big toe. Beautiful. So keep breathing, keep lifting. That left hand might be on the hip just to square everything off as much as we can here. Find the breath. Keep breathing. Then we're going to take that leg wide and out. Keep lifting tall through the crown of the head, pressing into the standing leg. Doesn't matter, as you can see, if the knee is bent. You've got this, one more breath. And then come back through center. Let go of the leg, keep pressing the leg long and tall. Toes up to the sky. 3, 2, and release. Oh, give that leg a little massage. Oh, a little shake out. And then ground into that right leg. So left knee lifts. And you might hold here, and when we come out, you can hold here. So that's an option to keep the leg bent. Otherwise, we are supporting along a straight leg. You can use straps or t-shirts or anything you've got, towels rolled up to hook around the foot if that's easier. It's nice with a strap because you can straighten the leg and then use the strap to kind of adjust where you're holding, whereas if you're holding the big toe, as you can see, I can't really straighten my leg. I'm sure my arms are too short. And my hamstrings. So take the actual leg out wide, keep lifting tall, pressing into that standing leg. It'll be working hard now in that glute, outside of the glute. Breathe. And then we'll come back to center, so keep holding through, release the hold of the foot, keep pressing the leg long. 3, 2, and release it, good work. And just give that leg a little massage and just shake out both sides. So coming to the front of the mat, spread the toes, just ground through the feet, roll the shoulders back, softness through the knees, a little squeeze of the glutes. And just take a moment to close your eyes. If you're like me, the breath through the balance, we start to lift the breath. Very yang activity, although we're finding stillness in the balance. It energizes and brings lots of breath and flow. So just taking a moment to slow that down, calming that nervous system. We've zhuzhed it all up, we've given it a bit of stimulation, so now we're just seeing if we can let it drop again, because we need the nervous system to drop into the calm state, but we also do need to bring it up every now and then to get us to motivate to do stuff, to run away from things, or whatever it might be that we need to do. Run across the road quickly, it could be something simple, but we need to be able to come back to calm. And that's the bit that's missing these days. So just taking control of the breath, slowing it back down. Take a big sweep of those arms. Widen up, palms to touch, eyes might open, or you can stay closed through this little flow, through that sun salutation there, diving forwards into forward fold. Inhale, long, flat back, and exhale to fold. Walking, stepping or jumping back to plank or chaturanga, hover down from your plank, and just stay on the mat. So just allow yourself to land fully on the mat. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, hands underneath the shoulders, and just take a little lift through the chest. So that might be a high lift, it might be quite a low lift, it might be somewhere in between, wherever you are. And just check, you can take your hands away, give them a little wave. So they're that far back that they're not doing much. They're supporting, just taking the weight off the ribs really. And if we can just let go for a moment.
So a little squeeze of the glutes, softness through the legs. One more breath. Awesome. And then just allow yourself to roll the chest back onto the mat. Chin can land or forehead. Release the glutes, just roll the hips side to side. Just give the legs a little wriggle side to side. And then just roll those shoulders back again. Start to peel the chest, press into the hands and roll back to a little child's pose. So this time the big toes can be close or touching, the knees might be close or wider. And drop the forehead down and just rest the arms above the head. Almost a bit like we were praying. Rested on the floor, nurtured in our little ball of child's pose. And maybe thinking about bringing the hands round so the hands just hold or touch the heels and the upper back is then open. The shoulder blades are separating away from one another. And this is our moment to imagine we can plug in that back portal of our heart, that energetic portalway at the back of our heart there, between the shoulder blades, revealed now, opened. And just imagine there's a cord that extends from there all the way up to all that potential energy that's around us, that life force energy, the intelligent energy, universal energy, many names. Prana, chi. Just imagine we're plugging in through that back portal of our heart, so drawing in anything we need here, healing, light, energy. Plugging in, drawing it in through the back portal of our heart, filling up our bodies, going wherever it's needed. But that portal, that cord is two ways, so sending out anything you need to on the exhales. Drawing in what you need on the inhales, exhales. Releasing and letting go. What are you leaving behind today? What are you not taking forwards with you? What have you outgrown or you need to release and let go of energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever it is, let it go. One more breath here. So I love this little simple practice because it's a bit like we would plug our phone in when it needs a bit more energy. We can do this whenever we need, drawing in anything we need, releasing anything we don't, plugging in as much as we would our phones. So hands just coming underneath the shoulders, just start to roll up, lifting the head away from the floor. Ooh, a little mark on my nuts. And options, as always, I feel a bit sleepy, so I don't really feel like doing a little bunny hop, but if you'd like to, you can, or you can just jump your feet through, or just swing your legs round, sit your bottom down somehow. Beautiful. So just grounding through those sit bones when you get there, legs long. And pull those toes back so that the thighs are lifting away from the floor. Not the thighs, sorry, the heels are lifting away from the floor. Gosh, if you lift your thighs here, then whew, that is strong. In fact, let's have a little go. Sitting up nice and tall, just see if you can hover your right foot so it's the toe is in line with the middle of the arch, or the arch is in line with the left toe, if that makes sense. 3, 2, that's enough, isn't it? And then we'll lift the other side. So just hover, lifting, breathing, 3, 2, and relax. That's good practice for our standing leg lift, isn't it? Those quads working. We'll try another one of those in a minute. So lifting up nice and tall through the spine, just sitting in our dandasana, our staff pose, finding that long, tall spine. Sweep the arms, lift up even taller, press into the sit bones, and as you fold forwards, the heels might drop, and hands will land wherever they land, shins or over those toes. So we're trying to keep that spine nice and long. We're pressing the chest forwards, folded from the hips. Finding the breath. Use that breath to just eke your way into the fold. Breathe. One more breath here. And then gently, carefully walk your way back up and just give the legs a little wriggle out. So draw the right knee into the chest and keep that left leg long. So we're going to take a twist. So we're going to wrap the left arm around the right leg and we're twisting towards. So that might be where you stay. You're trying to draw that knee under the armpit. You might bring the elbow to the outside to twist a little further. If you want the full version, that the shoulder and elbow need to be nice and close. Can reach the arm forwards. It might just then hook onto the foot. It might wriggle through to find the other thigh. The back hand can come around to find the bind. I'm going to go halfway because it's too much today for me to stay there. We know if we're too far in, our breath will start to quicken or we'll struggle. So just breathing. Amanda, I think you might need to twist the other way. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you can twist that way. It doesn't matter if you open twist. Just a different feeling. One more breath here. And then very carefully and slowly unravel and just come back to center. So bring your left leg in front of your right, press into the hands, have a little lift of the hips, see if you can kick and swap over or just swap over. I can see two little seagulls on the roof over there. They look so cute, they're all fluffy. So lifting up nice and tall, gonna wrap that right arm around the left, so we're twisting the other way this time. So again, that might be where we stay hugging the knee, or the elbow comes to the outside, or we can press the knee and the elbow together, or we're reaching that shoulder to the knee, and then as we twist the hand, it might hook onto the foot, it might wriggle through to find the hip, and if it does, we might be able to find that bind. We might be anywhere along that journey. So you might look all the way behind you to complete the twist with the eye gaze, or to the side, or you could stay looking forwards. And stay for one more breath. Carefully and gently unravel back through to center. So just bring the feet slightly wide and let the knees drop and give those knees a little windscreen wiper, hips a little release. And then bring the soles of the feet together and lift the hips up and land them back down. So we find our cobbler's pose or butterfly pose. So we can use the thumbs to open the soles of the feet like a book. The seagull family are having a little party, it's very cute. So use those thumbs, open wide, draw the knees wide, lift nice and tall, and then maybe fold a little bit into forward fold there, keeping long through the spine, drawing the chin to land in front of the feet. Definitely one of those moments where we just imagine that, it doesn't matter if it's not there. That's where we're drawing our way towards. Long exhales. Breathing. One more breath here. And then carefully and gently lifting up and just allow the feet to come forward slightly, so about an inch or two. This time we're going to round down, so we're really round it through the spine. So draw the chin to chest, but we're drawing the head towards the feet and rounding down. So it's a different feeling. We're not probably getting as much inner thigh stretch. So you can stay here, this is option one. We can always lift up, bring the hands underneath and hold the outsides of the ankles, feet with our hands and draw into that curled up ball. As we do that, we might even manage to roll away from the sit bones, land the whole backs of the arms down, and then we're pinning the arms down with the calves and the shins, and that's an option to be in kind of like a bound butterfly. If you want the full variation, you're going to draw up and manage to, if you can, get that shoulder into the knee so that we can draw. It looks a bit crazy, I know. You might have to wiggle the feet wide and get those legs around. So a bit like we're wearing our thighs like a backpack over our, they need to be over the upper arm. If they're on the lower arm, you won't be able to bend the elbow and it won't feel good. So if you're there, fine, either way, wherever you are, drop that head down. So we're finding that breath. One more breath here.
And then carefully lift the head, and especially if you're in the full bind, you're going to have to wriggle those feet a little bit wide, roll off one hip, carefully rotate those arms around slowly and bring them through, and just give the arms and the shoulders a little shake and the legs a little shake. So we'll take a little bit of seated, we're actually going to take a modification of half lotus, so not the ashtanga variation. So right leg, try and get the shin nice and parallel, left foot into the right knee crease. So we're just trying to get that. If that doesn't work, they can be more stacked and line, and the foot can be further to the center of the body. But if it can be over there, we're trying to make like a square. It won't be a square, obviously, because your hips are not as wide as your legs, unless you've got very short legs. So the knees are here, and then we could imaginary draw that line back to our hips. So we're trying to get that kind of container position. And we're trying to, some people's knees will be up here, and that's okay. So you're just trying to maybe press down, work on flattening through the knees, trying to get that nice parallel shins. If that's super easy enough already, then we're folding. If you're having enough breath work to stay where you are, then we don't need to fold. So you might fold just to really feel the stretch into that left hip, that top leg hip. So you can sort of rest onto the chin, maybe with the hands on the chin on the hands, get it the right way around, or a little pile of fists, or maybe the head is even lower than that. So just wherever you can fold, keep those sit bones on the floor, so press back if you start to roll forwards off of them. That will increase the stretch, so breathe. One more breath here. And then gently, as we want to come up, just start to press into the hands, lift yourself up, and then we'll just change the cross of the legs. So that left leg becomes our underneath, right foot in the knee crease ideally, but if you need to, shuffle it into the center. We're pressing now that right leg down, maybe that's enough. Maybe we're folding to feel a little bit more into that right hip. Beautiful. So just whatever feels comfortable to fold to. You can rest somewhere. Got a book or a block or anything, you can always put your head on that pillow. But we are actively pushing our hips back. They will want to roll forward, so thinking about keeping them grounded. One more full breath here. So carefully and gently pressing into the hands and lifting your way back up, just walking up slowly. Release that top leg, feet can be wide, and just allow some windscreen wipers again. And then we'll find our way onto our back. So whether that is done super slowly as a roll down, or you just lie yourself back, your choice. If you want to engage those abs on the way down, we're just going to roll slowly, slowly, seeing how much we can control that. And there might be little bits that go quickly, like there. And there might not be, and that's okay. So when you get to the floor, just take that full body stretch. Just stretch the legs long, press the palms away, press the heels away. And then hug those knees into the chest, give them a bit of a squeeze. And then we're going to roll with both knees together, roll the knees over to the right side. So we're in a little tucked ball twist here. So the knees land, the shins are on top of one another, and our right arm is outstretched, and we're just going to look to that right hand. So it's quite a high twist through the spine. You'll feel it in a very different area to when we do the one knee up. Breathing. It might be an easier twist than the one leg up for you, it might not be, but just noticing any differences. And then on the inhale, use the inhale to lift the legs up through center. And exhale, drop them over to the other side. So our left arm is now trailing, we're looking to our left hand. I just notice any difference here. So for me that feels really tight, like this knee wants to lift. But trying to keep the knees stacked together, the shins stacked together. In that twist, we're looking to the left arm. Breathe. And then big inhale to roll back through center. And if there's anything else you might want to do, some little knee circles, a little bit of happy baby, anything that feels right to you, kind of close the practice down. Or maybe you're ready for Shavasana and that is your final position. So just finding any bits of comfort. You might need a blanket or layers or socks or any bolsters or anything that might feel good, cushions anywhere. Or if you're ready to just sort of allow the floor to be your cushion, then just simply landing everything onto the mats. Just draw the shoulders away from the ears, let the palms face up and be wide away from the body. Heels are in, toes are rolling wide. And just allow your mind to focus on the exhales. Nothing else to do, but really allow yourself to let go. Fully released, surrendered to the floor. Click. As it is full moon, I'm going to find a nice full moon card for you, so you can stay in Shavasana as long as you need. Not a full moon card, just a card from my Moonology pack. See what messages we need today. Any guidance for our day. So we have the card of full moon in Capricorn. The end of a tough cycle approaches. How hard are you willing to work for what you want? This card is reminding you that effort is required. Work issues may be about to come to a head when this card comes up. If you're wondering if you should stay in your job or leave, this card can be a strong sign to make an exit. The end of a rough time is forecast. This card also asks you to consider how ambitious you are and whether you're prepared to pull out all the stops to make your professional dreams come true without being ruthless. With a love question, this card can be a call to face reality. Whatever situation you're asking about, making a plan will help. If your personal life is troubled, prioritize it more. Attune to the moon, release control and trust the universe. Additional meanings for this card: a professional project may be ending now. Admit if you have been overly hard-headed or hard-nosed. Find a balance between your personal and private lives. It's time to stop fearing the worst. So just maybe allowing your breath to return a little deeper back into your body. Maybe taking some wriggles of your toes and your fingers. It might feel good to take that full body stretch overhead. And hug the knees into the chest and just remind yourself of your intention from the beginning of the practice. You can roll onto either side, just coming up to a seated position, and we'll just close the practice with a couple of breaths and one on. So take a big deep inhale, filling up. Big sigh, let it go. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhaling to on.